What a dooski guys, it's Pharaoh34 here with the Flash issue 1 review by Joshua Williamson. So this is a true issue 1 of the story arc. The last issue wasn't the real thing, it was more or less a background on the story, what's been going on, and introducing Wally West and so on. The story starts off with a quick retelling of how exactly Barry got his powers. Pretty much Officer August is asking Barry for assistance on his brother's murder. Barry of course wants to help, but it will be difficult because the core idea in this issue is that he can't do everything, and he can't be at two places at the same time. Connecting with that, we see a few panels of Barry doing typical superhero stuff, like stopping tornadoes, but he's also thinking that he's not fast enough. Something else that's interesting is seeing how Barry wants to do so many things, but the firemen, for example, tell him that he can't, and he really just leaves them, of course, because he wants to go and do more good. Barry then arrives to work late, of course, and Director Singh gives him shit because he's saying things like, "Knowing you're late doesn't help any of these victims, Alan." Suddenly, we have August pop up and work with Barry on the crime scene, and he kinda defends Barry while Singh is giving him a guilt trip, and Barry's thankful. The two of them start investigating the crime scene, and Barry makes a realization that the two people responsible must have had some sort of science background due to them not touching the containers that were deadly. It appears that August's schedule has been switched around, and he says to Barry that they'll be most likely working together. First Batman and now August, everyone's getting a little bit of extra Barry in their life. August then starts telling Barry something important, how if he didn't help him at his brother's murder all those years ago, then he would have lost faith in the system. So it's because of Barry that, he's really made it to this point where he is. Just as Barry's gonna do the usual "I could have done more" routine, something comes up and there's a police escort at Star Labs and August is late. Barry jokes around with August being late, but then realizes he himself is actually late. Barry was supposed to meet up with Iris and Wally for lunch to help with Wally's school project. Luckily, Kristen the intern offers to take care of Barry's work for him so he can make it on time. She even goes and points out that he never noticed her before, so why should he start now? Something of notice is how Barry never acknowledged that she's been a full CSI this whole time for months. Goes to show how busy and focused he is trying to save other people. Next, we have Barry arriving late again to lunch, and it turns out that Wally was able to finish his assignment quickly. I see what you did there. Barry's about to start feeling sorry for himself until Iris calls him out on it. Iris, obviously being a journalist, starts pressing Barry on info on a case, and then Barry starts reflecting on how the case has been a lot on him recently and is becoming more of a challenge for him. Iris then starts questioning if Barry's thinking of quitting his job, but of course he is not. He just wishes that he could do more. Iris tells Barry some wisdom her mom used to say to her, that when she used to try to do too many things, she ended up doing nothing. This is something that really applies to Barry because he's always trying to do everything. During their conversation, the word friend got thrown into the mix, and of course, Wally is quick to call them out. Wally's pretty much calling them out, saying, you can't just be friends, even a kid at school could call you guys out. There's definitely more to this. Just as Wally's doing this, a ton of fire trucks go by, and of course Barry's got to go. Next, we have some really cool panels of Barry running, deciding whether or not to go to Star Labs for the police escort or the fire. He chooses the fire because it's on the way, and again, we have Barry trying to do too many things at one time. He even says that with the Speed Force, he can't be at two places at one time, but he still tries to. We jump back and forth between Barry saving people in this fire and then to a group of armored men stopping the police escort. None other than August is on the scene, and he tries to talk with the men, basically saying it's better to have, a police hostage rather than just some normal civilians. Just as August is doing this, he notices a symbol on the person's chest. It turns out to be the same exact one at his brother's crime scene. Just as Barry's finished up at the fire scene, he's running as fast as he can to where August and the armored men are. The armored men say that we are the black hole and then fires their gun aiming at August's head. Just as Barry makes it there 1 second too late, August is suddenly hit with a bolt of lightning. Just as Barry's running to make it on time, what appears to be the new speedster, Godspeed, punches out the armored man. The issue pretty much ends with Barry in the background and August surprised that he has lightning surging throughout his entire body. So it appears that August has the Speed Force now. I'm not gonna lie that I did see that kind of coming, but I didn't expect that to be in the end of this issue. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed Flash issue 1. I think this is some great writing. Joshua Williamson sets up an interesting story arc for Barry having to deal with August having the Speed Force, most likely training him in the future, and him being his co-worker as well. Something that is done really well in this issue is displaying the internal struggle of Barry trying to do too many things. Despite being the fastest man alive, he's still too slow and cannot do everything. The different ways in his life that this is shown, whether it be with Iris, at work, or with being the Flash, is demonstrated well. We also get a really nice cliffhanger with August. For new readers, this is also a great starting off point because you can just hop into the story. You have the beginning learning how the Flash got his powers, and you get straight into the meat of the story, and I don't think you'll get very confused. Something I would say about this issue is I'm not the biggest fan of some of the character designs. Other than that, I enjoyed this issue, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much as always for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, you can leave a like and subscribe to the Hybrid Network if you have not already. Also, feel free to check out my channel in the links down below. Be sure to check out the full story arc review for The Flash in the next couple of months on the Hybrid Network. That's it for me today, guys. Pharaoh34. I'll see you next time. Peace.